So the indigenous Philippines cooking method have survived foreign influences from trade it's all from trade, contact, and colonization. So Chinese traders likely introduced food before Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan's arrival in 1521. The earliest written account of food was by Antonio Pigafetta, and the rice was introduced in Cagayan Valley. It was the earliest evidence of the Philippine cuisine. So the there are our cuisine has so many foreign influences is because of the traders, the, like example of the Chinese, the Malays, and the Indonesians, and also the Portuguese that belongs Magellan. And when he arrived in 1521, Antonio Pigafetta is an Italian scholar who traveled with him, and he is the one who write that rice was first seen in Cagayan Valley. So in 3400 BC, the earliest evidence of rice in the Philippines was found in the Cagayan Valley. Rice was brought to the Philippines during Indo-Malaysia, Chinese, and Vietnamese wave of immigration. So as you can see that rice was first discovered in Cagayan Valley, where uh, it was called, or it was attributes by the Itawes, and or what attributes to the indigenous people of the region. They are called the Itawes and the Ibanag tribe. And also um, they the in the Chinese and the Indo-Malaysians, they are the first who came to the Philippines, and uh, during the Neolithic period, the Chinese Malay, they introduced the farming technologies like uh, wet rice cultivation was introduced by the Chinese, and the Malays introduced the use of water buffalo and farming. So Spanish also teaches them, the Ibanags and the Itawes, new farming technologies. Like example, the canal system and how to use iron plow in farming. So uh, in 2nd century AD, the Chinese were the first to trade with the Philippines, which they called Ma'ai at the time. China introduced the Philippines to soy sauce, fish sauce, and methods of stir frying. This led to the birth of many Filipino-Chinese dishes such as pancit, lumpia, siopao, and siomai. So, in 2nd century, the word Ma'ai or Ma'ai was called by the Filipinos because of the Chinese believe that the Filipinos are uh, they say that Filipinos are barbarians or uneducated people, so they call them Ma'ai. And also, the Chinese introduced the soy sauce, and this was over 2,000 years ago. It is believed to create. It was believed that it was created during the Western or Han Dynasty during 1206 before Christ. And also the fish sauce is originated in Southeast Asia, where mostly the ancient kingdoms like Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. And stir frying method was originated in China dynasty or the Qin dynasty. So as time goes by, the Filipinos uh, learned how to cook using these ingredients or these uh, items from China. They use soy sauce in cooking pancit, or lumpia. They use also fish shows, and siopaw and siomai. They use stir frying method, and also and during the 1100 AD or 1100 after that, the Philippines began trading with China, Thailand, and Japan. This led to the creation of many Filipino dishes with spices and flavors from around the world. So, Philippine food history is a mix of different cultures and influences from the various countries, which has resulted a unique and a delicious cuisine. And until today, it was adapted and more uh, they are evolving in a very unique and pleasing cuisine or recipe. So, at March 16, 1521, Ferdinand Magellan landed and coined the islands the Islas Poniente. They say that Islas Poniente is at the westernmost island of the Philippines. And in 1542, Spanish explorer Ruy Lopez de Villalobos renamed the islands Filipinas after King Philip II, who was the prince at the time. So, Villalobos is the one who named the Philippines Filipinas, and it was named after its king Philip II. And in 16th century, the Spanish introduced Filipinos who previously ate with their hands and banana leaves to cutlery. They brought Christmas feast traditions such as relleno, which is the process of stuffing a turkey or chicken, rice meat dishes such as paella, stews to the Philippines. So, Spanish is introduced to us the eating with the hands. So, we adapt their tradition until now. And also, the stuffing of turkey or chicken has been practicing until today. And also in 1896 to 1898, the Philippine Revolution directed against Spain took place. This influences the national movements of other Asian cuisines including China, Indonesia, and Malaysia. So, in 1898, the Philippines was ceded at the United States by Spain along with Puerto Rico and Guam following the Spanish-American War. So, and also a guerrilla war between the Filipinos and Americans broke out after the Treaty of Paris ended and the Spanish-American War, and Americans tried to take over. And this was happened in 1898 to 1901. This lasted for 3 years until President Aguinaldo was captured and William Howard Taft was appointed governorship. The war resulted in the death of at least 20,000 Filipino civilians, mostly due to famine and disease. And the U.S. colonization changed the cultural landscape of the islands, which led introduction of the Philippine language in the islands of primary language of industry, education, and government. So, it's because of the war that was inflicted. So, the Filipinos run for their life. Nagtago sila sa mga kabundukan at para maiwasang madamay or may mga yaring masama sa kanila. So, yung mga traders na iba is umalis sila, 'di ba? So, dahil at war sila, walang time na ang mga Filipinos noon na magluto ng mga iba't ibang cuisine. So, bumalik sila sa mga gulay galing sa gubat. Like example, yung mga pako or fern, yung mga yun. Basta yung mga wild na gulay na pwedeng makain noon. Or green vegetables. And bumalik sila sa paghahunting ng foods ng mga animals para lang makasurvive. So, that time during the war is maybe hindi na nakalimutan yung mga cuisine na na-adapt nila galing sa mga traders. So, sabi ko na hindi naman kasi hanggang ngayon naman is na gagamit pa rin natin yung mga recipe na na-adapt natin sa mga traders.
July 4, 1946, the Republic of the Philippines was established as the country gained its independence from U.S. because of the 1934 Tidings McDuffie Act. In 1940s, the 1950s, the U.S. Army introduced the concept of boodle fight to the Philippines, which is the militaristic style of the eating where all the food is spread out on the table covered with banana leaves, and eaters stand shoulder to shoulders to stuff their faces as fast as they could. Older generations associate the boodle fight with the violence that came with American militarization. However, current generations are the boodle fight as celebrated of Filipino culture. So in short, US Army introduced boodle fight in concept, now in celebrated Filipino traditions. While 1950s, home economic classics were introduced into Filipino schools by American, and the textbook housekeeping were in the textbook guide for girl in public intermediate schools of the Philippines taught how utensils should be used. And also, Filipinos spoke honey, badger, and continued to use utensils the way they wanted. While 1986, known as the revolutions that surprised the world, wherein Yellow Revolution's part of the people power wherein demonstrated wear a yellow ribbon to mark and honor the dead of Senators Benigno Ninoy Aquino Jr., who was in active voice against President Ferdinand Marcos. 1986. So when Ferdinand Marcos won the rigged presidential elections, the people power revolutions began, mostly in Manila, demonstrating against political violence and election fraud. In 1987, after years of rebellion, a new president and constitutions were accepted following the people power revolutions, which restored democracy to the Philippines. So in 2016, Filipino-American chef Tom Cunya's restaurant in Washington, D.C., Bad Saint was named second best new restaurant in America by Bon Appetit. So lastly, June 9, 2017, Anthony Bourdain predicted the explosions of Filipino food in U.S., comparing it to the popularity Korean food gained in the last decade, and also he predicted the rise of Filipino food in the US, citing its unique flavors.
Characteristics: Filipino cuisine centers on the combination of sweet tamis, sour asim, and salty alat. Although in Bicol, the Cordilleras and among Muslim Filipinos, spicy or anghang is a base of cooking flavor. Ito naman is mga flavorings. Counterpoint is a feature in the Philippine cuisine which normally comes in pairing of something sweet with something salty and results in surprisingly pleasing combinations. Example na dito is yung champurrado, which is made out of sweet cocoa rice porridge being paired with tuyo or the salted sun-dried fish. Dinuguan or the dinardaraan, which is made out of pig bloods and innards, paired with puto or sweet steamed rice cakes. Pwede din dito yung chicken intestines and its blood na gawing dinuguan. The unripe fruits such as mangoes are eaten dipped in a salt or bagoong. And mostly na ginagawa ito sa native na mangga. And the use of cheese, which is salty in sweet cakes. Example na dito is yung sa bibingka or sa puto. Nilalagyan nila ng cheese. And as well as ice cream flavoring. Ginagawa din nila itong flavoring in the ice cream. So, vinegar, isa din ito sa mga common ingredients, lalo na sa adobo, which is popular not solely for its simplicity and ease of preparation, but also for its ability to be stored days without spoiling, and even improved flavored with a day or two of storage. Ito naman is kung bakit pwede nating i-store yung adobo ng ilang araw to pwedeng 2 days is because yung vinegar kasi pwede niyang i-slow down yung decaying process. It kills off any microorganisms, kaya pwede natin itong i-preserve. And the tinapa also is a smoke-cured fish, while tuyo, daing, and dangit are corned, sun-dried fish popular because they can last for weeks without spoiling, even without refrigeration. So, yung common na ginagamit nila is yung galunggong, pero pwede din nilang gamitin yung bangus or yung milkfish. So, cooking and eating in the Philippines has traditionally been an informal and communal affair centered around the family kitchen.
Filipino meals. Filipino traditionally eat 3 main meals a day. These are agahan or breakfast, tanghalian or lunch, and hapunan or dinner. Snack is normal to Filipino. Breakfast or lunch is the largest meal, while dinner is considered to be the main meal because the family gather together to eat, share stories, and connect. Filipino foods tend to be served all at once and not in courses, unlike any other Asian counterparts. Filipinos don't use chopsticks, instead they use fork and spoon because of Western influence. A traditional way of eating is with hands, especially with dry dishes such as inihaw or prito. This practice is known as kamayan, or we call it here munkamit, and we usually see or do this in out-of-town trips, beach vacations, fiestas, or doodle fights.